All right, so on our last discussion, airboat, car motor boats versus aircraft engines, a lot of people wrote in the comment section talking about their size engine, their size boat, gear ratios, and props they were slinging, and what kind of fuel mileage they were getting. Now, I'll say this. There is no way you can make a heavier boat, a car motor boat, burn the same amount of gas as a lighter boat, which are usually your aircraft boats. All right, they can get close, but a lighter boat is just going to burn less gas. So the heavier you make your boat, the more gas it's going to burn, the more fuel it's going to take to make the boat go. All right, now in airplanes, you don't calculate your fuel by miles per gallon. You calculate it as hours of use. So I think that's a better way of calculating your fuel, how long you can ride versus how far you can ride, because there's just too many variables. Whether or not you're on deep water, shallow water, and whether or not you're running hill. There's just too many variables to say my boat gets better gas mileage than your boat, unless you're running the exact same right behind each other, going the exact same place. And then at the end of the day, maybe you can compare, see how much gas you burn. So that's that. But today I want to talk about Polymer bottoms. I printed out a nice little ad from Stingray UHMW Airboat Polymers. This is their like little crib sheet, sell it to you on it. It says lightweight, protects hull from rocks, stumps, sharp oyster beds, and many other underwater hazards. Outwears aluminum and steel. UV stabilized, self-lubricating. Temperature range, low friction coefficient, makes it slick in any weather. Available in any width and length. Available in 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch thickness. They're selling it there. I'm wondering if they're really talking about the Polymer, not something else. I did go on Diamondbacks and look at their price range. 1/4 inch 5x10 is $280. That's the Polymer alone. No drill holes, no hardware, nothing. Same size sheet in a 3/8 inch thickness is $425. 6x12 1/4 inch thickness is $450, and a 3/8 by 6x12, so for a bigger boat, is going to be $650. That's Polymer alone. That's not including install prices, hardware, anything like that. Papa, you on your boat before this one, you had Polymer on the bottom of yours, didn't you?
Yeah, I had 3/8.
3/8, and now
that back then that was all they made.
Right, and they're making up to 1/4 inch thickness now, or down to 1/4 inch thickness.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a good idea.
I think it's just because of lightness, it lightens it up. I think I told you before, that sheet I had weighed somewhere around probably close to 300 pounds.
300 pounds?
280, 300 pounds, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a heavy piece of polymer.
So,
and you know, you've got to realize it's 3/8 piece of solid plastic.
Yeah.
Basically, what polymer is a hard plastic.
Yeah, and so you're adding weight to the boat. That's a person. That's two people if it's me and my wife.
That's adding weight.
Yeah.
That's adding drag.
Yeah.
Because you don't have something smooth. The water's not going directly over. It is, but it's still dragging. There's a piece under there.
I was thinking about that too, because I mean, you get the Polymer, it gets nicks and cuts and in it, but whoever takes a Polymer boat, flips it over and cleans it up?
Nobody.
So those nicks, they're always there. That's creating drag and
things like that, coefficient drag, but it's not as much as you would think.
Yeah.
But it does cause drag. It's just a different there. The difference is between it is where you run and what you run on.
Yeah.
Up there in Crystal River, Homosassa area, there's a lot of oystering going on.
Yeah.
And they're in the shallows at low tide, and there's a lot of coral, a lot of limestone, a lot of stuff like that. And we used to have a boat builder here in town, and he built a bunch of oyster boats for that area up there.
Yeah.
And he always had Polymer put on them because it would tear the fiberglass up.
Right.
So it just depends on where you run, what kind of terrain you're running in, that would determine if you need Polymer or not.
Yeah.
If you're running down south, you're running aluminum boats. Most people run steel flex, or sometimes they don't run anything at all. Depends on where they run. It all depends on where you run and what you're running at. If you're going to do a lot of hunting and you're beating the myrtle bushes and running up in cypress hammocks and stuff like that, where you're running over cypress knees and stuff like that, the polymer is great.
Yeah.
Cost factors, you know.
Yeah.
You put the polymer on one time and it lasts you probably 5 to 6, 7 years before you have to really do anything to it, because usually what happens is the bolts loosen up. The polymer don't. The polymer can get hard and come loose.
Yeah.
But you're good for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Usually. Don't hold me to that. I'm not an expert.
Well, didn't
but mine, I had that boat, that hull till the runners come out of it, and it still had polymer on it. And I had that boat for almost 7 years.
Yeah.
And back in those days, we beat the shit out of boats.
Yeah.
I mean, we run tomato fields, we run oak hammocks, we run cypress hammocks. We made our own trails.
Yeah.
So
well, I remember just running across. Let's go that way, and we went until we came out somewhere that we recognized.
Right.
You know,
but those days are long gone.
Laying down myrtle bushes, and you're
like
riding, and you're on top of the myrtle bushes, and then you fall off of them.
It's amazing our boats lasted as long as the hulls lasted as long as they did. Yeah. I just built this new ride boat, and I run slick bottom on it.
Yeah.
Now, I had a little bit of an issue with this boat because it was the first one. This boat builder built this metal work for me in setup.
Yeah.
And I kept running my slick bottom off right underneath where I sat, both sides.
Yeah.
And usually you don't have it run off on both sides because of the torque of the boat. It's usually either on the torque side, which would be the left side.
Right.
It would run there and it maybe run the nose of the boat. It's a rear seat. I sit over top of the, right in front of the motor.
Yeah.
Over top of the runners. So I ended up spinning brand new boat. I had to put 2 bottoms on it within 10 rides.
Right.
And that's not normal.
Yeah.
And you should be, if you're not running the hill constantly. All depends on weight again. You know, like I told you on that one there, the first 5 trips out on that boat, it had a minimum of 800 pounds on it.
Yeah.
Of people riding. So,
yeah.
You know, that had a factor to do with the wear of the bottom too.
Yeah.
If me and your mom were just riding the boat, that bottom would probably last me 6 months a year. Just because there's no weight on the boat.
Well, I know myself and Alicia, my wife, together we weigh 280. All right, and then full, and we take just a little 6-pack cooler because that's all we need. So I mean, I'm hoping for maybe a year out of my bottom.
Oh, there should be no problem with the year out of your bottom with the weight that you have. You take the kids and yourself. There should be no weight because your boat is lighter than mine.
Yep. We don't run the hill like we used to.
Yeah, we don't beat the boats like we used to. We more of a pleasure rider now.
Yeah, yeah, I know. And around Kissimmee, the Kissimmee Triangle there, the marsh area, it's all green grass, and it's it's nice.
Green grass unless it's sticky and it's dollar weed. But then you get stuck.
But it's easy on the bottom. It's easy on the slick bottom.
It's easier on the slick bottom.
You know.
Yes.
And you can pick where you go.
You're not running.
Stay out of the sand.
You're not running on sand. You're not running in. You're running a lot of grass pastures.
Yeah.
And that's the easiest running on a slick bottom or in an airboat there is. Anyway.
Yeah. For what we do, where we ride, would you have a polymer bottom again?
No.
And if you were building a boat all over again, would you stay in the back or would you move back to the front?
It depends on what kind of boat I was building. I want to build a little 2-seater ride boat.
Right.
I would still have the seat in the back.
Right.
I like driving from the back.
But so if it's in the front, if you're in the front seat, it's going to pick it up easier. But if you're in the back seat, it's sort of going to hold that tail down a little bit, and you're going to ride the hill flatter, so it's going to wear your bottom.
The bottom.
Yeah,
back
it's
on the bottom.
going to wear your bottom a little more.
So on a front seater, you're running the nose of the boat.
Yeah.
Where this here's running on the pad more. I like driving from the back.